I'm grateful, Your Highness. If it weren't for your intervention, I might have been lost in that labyrinth forever.
Don't mention it. High Priest Mirari insisted on bringing the Emians along, and it turned out to be a wise decision. Otherwise, we would have been trapped on that endless stairway forever.
Speaking of Emions, I encountered a few of them in the tower, and they were dressed in a peculiar fashion. They mentioned something beyond my comprehension. According to them, the copper sphere we transported back to Japheth appears to be a living entity or a device that can be activated through specific commands. They also claimed that the ancient god of the sun in Memphis would rise again over Ephrathah, and they held us responsible for this occurrence.
Where are those Emians now?
I apologize, Your Highness. I had intended to capture them alive and gather more information. Although they were skilled fighters, their lack of coordination made them vulnerable, and we could have easily defeated them. However, just as my soldiers closed in on them, they vanished into thin air. At first I thought it was an illusion, but the marks left on my soldiers' weapons and armor are undeniably real.
Sarvis, after witnessing numerous miracles in the library, are you still amazed by such minor happenings? I won't be surprised by anything that happens within those infinite rooms. It astonishes me that Obed possesses such a treasure. If the claims of those Emians are true, the Library of Babel contains answers to all questions in the world. Regardless, that copper sphere, even if it is connected to the sun, doesn't matter anymore. The sun rises every day, but it doesn't provide answers to humanity's questions about the world.
Speaking of which, how is the negotiation progressing, High Priest?
The clerks have prepared the necessary documents, stating that the Arsacid Empire will become our vassal state in exchange for our protection. Once you add your signature, the contract will be sealed.
There is no need. The treaty is now null and void. Disseminate my orders. Instruct our soldiers to besiege the city. We shall capture Obed, seize the tower, and claim the library for Japheth. The library of the gods. I never realized that such a wondrous place truly existed in this world.
Your Highness?
I understand your perplexity, General. While reneging on our word is dishonorable, let's consider the fact that the Arsacid Empire is corrupt, and its emperor is an imbecile. If they attempt to exploit the power within the tower for nefarious purposes in the future, I believe you comprehend my concerns, Sarvis. Only Japheth possesses the power to safeguard this marvel from the unworthy.
A swift horse is approaching, Your Highness. The rider appears to be a messenger.
Bring him to me.
Greetings, Your Highness.
Rise. From where do you hail, and what tidings do you bring?
Your Highness, you commanded my unit to escort the God of the Sun back to Javriel. Several days ago, we arrived at Ephrathah on the eastern shore of the Philistine Sea, which is under Herod's dominion.
I know. Herod is one of my father's numerous vassals. Did he show any disrespect toward you?
No, quite the contrary. He treated us with great respect and insisted warmly that we stay at his royal court for the night. Then, at midnight, while we were sleeping, we were awakened by a radiant glow outside the palace. We went to investigate, and, to our astonishment, the sun had risen beneath the stars.
Did the wine addle your senses? What nonsense are you talking about?
What I speak is the truth, Your Highness. We witnessed it with our own eyes.
Go on. Tell me what happened.
Well, my servants, the soldiers slumber now. Now it's time for you to fulfill your promise to me. And should you dare to deceive me, your suffering will be 1,000-fold worse than your darkest nightmare.
Your Majesty, every word we speak is true. Our ancestors were once priests of Memphis, serving pharaohs for generations in the distant past. After the kingdom of pharaohs crumbled, we were exiled but fortunate enough to find shelter in your court. Our deepest secrets are never recorded, but passed down through oral tradition among our closest blood relations. Among them lies the secret of the god of the sun. During the era of Pharaoh Akhenaten, the priests discovered how to harness the power of the sun, bending it to the pharaoh's will. It is the language of the gods. Merely recite the divine words, and the sun will rise at your command. Through it, you shall attain divinity and achieve immortality, just as the ancient pharaohs did.
Yet you do not hesitate to share such deepest secrets with me.
It's precisely because you are a benevolent and generous ruler. That's why we're willing to reveal these secrets to you. Thurnus is nothing more than a tyrant who has ravaged our lands. If it were not for your generosity, we would all be living as mere livestock now. Your Majesty, I cannot bear to see you continue to bow before that tyrant.
Benevolent? Generous? Such descriptions are rare, but you're correct about one thing. We are both kings, so why should I kneel before that tyrant and allow my country to be reduced to a mere province of Japheth? Very well. Let me see for myself if your claims hold true.
All deeds have consequences. All debts must be paid.
Arise, sun. From this moment onward, even the stars shall pale in comparison to the sun I have awakened!
I take back what I said about our director being an imbecile. Having a time machine at our disposal is actually pretty convenient. Well, it depends on how you interpret what I'm saying. What? Finally done dealing with me? The former #1 director candidate? Tch.
The Collected Letters of Obed Royal Family. Volume 3, Darius, the King of All Kings, written by a historian from the Obed court. The second half is blank. Looks like this volume is incomplete. It appears that we have indeed arrived in the era of Darius, around 500 years before the 5th Emperor's reign. That Emaon we encountered mentioned that Darius was the one who first brought Aten from Memphis to Obed. Sarvis also mentioned that Darius was the first ruler of Obed to harness the power of the sun.
I see. The fact that the Japheth soldiers didn't know the command to activate a 10 suggests that it had already been lost by their time. Compared to the era of Japheth, the era of Darius was closer to the era of Aten, which means Darius is more likely to know the command to activate a 10.
Besides, there's something else that concerns me. The giant we just encountered. Actually, we might have encountered it once before. Back in our time, when you entered the Tower of Babel and activated the dormant beacon, we came across something very similar, Sia. Indeed, the giant in our time was missing its lower half, so I can't say for sure if it's the same giant. Moreover, I'm sure you remember the stuff we got from the mutilated giant. According to Master Ninsar, it belonged to Darius. So, it must have come from this era.
Sorry for interrupting your discussion, but that was the first time I saw that huge guy. So that giant has been after you? What did you do to anger it so much?
We didn't do anything.
Dear Emaon, I bear no ill intentions. Have you forgotten our agreement?
We don't have enough information to understand the reason behind it yet.
One moment he wanted to kill us, and the next moment he was happy to see us.
Just to confirm, when we met Sarvis for the second time, it was a month after our first encounter, right?
Did you figure something out, or... I'm afraid so. Sarvis didn't have a clue about a 10's activation during our first encounter, but in the second encounter, he mentioned that they had somehow appeased the wrath of the god of the sun. So during that month, a 10 must have been reactivated and turned into the star of Ephrathah. Sarvis also said that we delivered divine words and saved the world from destruction. It means that we were the ones who helped deactivate a 10, extinguishing the star of Ephrathah. Remember what Enki said?
Be careful. The prophecy may actualize itself.
Actions taken to prevent tragedy can end up causing it. Now I understand that Sarvis wasn't exaggerating when he said we saved the entire world from destruction. After a 10 was reactivated, its power must have kept increasing, just like when it destroyed a Keteton. Imagine what would happen if a fusion reactor continues to increase its power output without being shut down. We obtained the command and delivered it to Sarvis. However, it wasn't us from the present. Rather, it was us from some point in the future. Because of our time travels, the prophecy actualized itself. Sure.
There is no other choice.
Now we're not just responsible for saving the library in our era, but also saving the world in Sarvis's era.
We must move on and find the command to deactivate Arten and deliver it to Sarvis. If we fail, both eras will veer off their intended paths and collapse completely.
I'm not going to answer that. There are a bunch of geezers in Emaon who specialize in time paradoxes. I've never paid attention to their lectures. All I know is that it would be very, very, very bad. Who are those people?
Judging by their attire, they must be the Immortal Army, Darius's Praetorians.
Of course I know that, but why are there so many Immortal Army soldiers wandering inside the library in this era?
Those who betray His Majesty will pay with their lives. Your Majesty, please forgive us. We are devoted to you.
Hey! They can't even hear us. Never mind. Let's keep going. We'll surely find someone we can reason with, right? those pesky creatures again. Hey, use your time-stopping ability on them.
Halt! Oriole! End up like those sacrifices hanging there.
This era, it's truly weird.
Obviously, those immortal army soldiers have been wandering around inside the library for quite some time. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so worn out.
What exactly happened?
Emperor Darius was the ruler of the ancient Obed Empire 2,500 years before our time. He was one of the most renowned rulers in Obed's history. Unlike the Obed Empire under the 5th Emperor's rule, Obed during Darius's reign was the most powerful empire in the world. Towards the end of his reign, though, Emperor Darius inexplicably shifted his focus away from governing the empire, leading to a rapid decline of Obed. The records about Emaon are not detailed, as their leader Pythagoras mysteriously vanished without a trace one day.
Emaon's historical records are all but blank during this era. There are simply too many coincidences happening in this era. We need to be extra cautious.
The stars. They appear so distant, yet shine so brightly.
Your Majesty, Farhad requests an audience.
It is you, my most courageous servant. How does the wine taste at the celebration?
The wine was exquisite, benefiting the conquerors of Memphis. We all wonder why you didn't join us in the great feast of honor. Why do you remain secluded in this corner, far from the bonfire, without even a single guard? Have we done anything to displease you?
Not at all, Fahad. I am pleased with your valor. After this battle, I've annexed the southern reaches of the world into my domain.
I am staying away from the crowds to gaze at the stars. The campfire's brightness would obscure their light. Have you ever considered where our conquest will end, Farhad?
No, Your Majesty. I shall fight wherever you deem necessary. Until the farthest reaches of your dominion touch the sea, or until I fall on the battlefield.
Your loyalty is commendable. But what I'm seeing now is even more distant than the sea. There was an Emian scholar named Pythagoras who told me that according to his research, the land beneath our feet is a sphere.
A sphere? How is that even possible?
You're not a scholar, so it is understandable that you can't imagine it. However, I can easily imagine that there may exist countless such spheres suspended high above the heavens. We call those spheres stars. The notion that these stars are fragments of Earth adrift in the firmament. So many uncharted territories awaiting conquest. Do you understand my feelings, Farhad? In comparison, Memphis, no, even the entirety of Obed, pales in significance. I wonder how I can travel to those stars to conquer those lands no one has ever seen. How pathetic is a man so bound by his desires. From now on, I shall find no peace in my nights.
Fret not, Your Majesty. We, the Immortal Army, will always be your keenest blades. Even if you were to command us to conquer the moon, we would comply without hesitation.
You truly are my favorite servant, Farhad. Arise, for I shall share my glory and dreams with you. One day we'll leave our footprints across the entire expanse of the sky. So, it was but a dream. I'm feeling cold. Am I already so old that I'm plagued by such vivid dreams? I used to believe that only the inept dream, for they possess nothing in reality. Is the heavens telling me that I'm no different from those commoners? My time is running out. Emeons, I'm summoning you to demand an answer I have long awaited. A decade has passed since my triumph in Memphis. I have given you so much time to unravel the mysteries of the God of the Sun. My subjects comply with my commands, never disturbing your research or prying into your tower. Only during the 6th and final month of each year do my emissaries visit you to ask about the progress of your research. You should know that it is a supreme honor, and that I have shown you extraordinary generosity, which no other Obed emperors have ever bestowed upon you. However, my messengers disappointed me every time, as your response of nothing has remained unchanged. Now, I've decided to ask you this question myself. This is your 10th year. Have you learned more about the nature of that copper sphere What grants it immortality?
Your Majesty, our answer remains the same. You may perceive 10 years as a considerable length of time. For a human life, it is indeed substantial. However, for those devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, it is merely a fleeting moment akin to the evaporation of morning dew. Undoubtedly, that sphere represents a creation that transcends the limits of human understanding. Even if it is not a deity, in its own right, its creator must possess divine qualities. We need more time to figure out its true essence.
Time. Time. What an extravagant request. I, too, would grant you more time if I were able. Unfortunately, the time given to me is dwindling. The sand in the hourglass is running out. I am growing old, and my time is slipping away, while the boundless, unconquered worlds still await me. I am asking you once again, Emeon, do you indeed have nothing to give me in return?
Your Majesty, I hold you in the highest regard, but I must inform you that neither your Majesty nor your power hold sway within the realm of knowledge. Though you may command all on earth to declare that the sun rises in the west, it will still be the eastern sky that illuminates the next dawn. I can assure you that we're more eager than you to learn the nature of the sphere. It is the calling of the scholar.
I see. You're unable to offer what I seek in exchange for my leniency. I extend my regrets to you, Emeon. Since the beginning of history, this will be the first time the Emperor of Obed resorts to violence against Emeon. If I had a choice, I wouldn't wish to make this decision.
You may rule over this land, Your Majesty. And while you may intimidate those who seek knowledge, the laws governing knowledge itself do not yield to mere might.
Immortal army, at my command, open this tower and seize their library! If this library is as miraculous as the legends proclaim, containing the sum of all worldly knowledge, it must surely hold the secret to immortality and the immortal power of that copper sphere. Since the mouthpieces of the gods remain silent to my request, I'll uncover the answer myself.
We can't prevent you if you're determined to do so, Your Majesty. Permit me, however, to offer a final piece of advice. The gods remain silent due to the folly of humankind.
That was the last question I will ever pose to you. From now on, you are no longer permitted to address me. Immortal army, storm their tower and breach their gates. Emeon, I have heard tales that the paths within the Library of Babel are more numerous than the stars in the sky, and the smallest misstep can lead to eternal wandering. I've also heard you've devoted countless time and lives to explore that library, and that you've even familiarized yourself with a number of safe paths. I command you to lead the way for my warriors, and you have no right to refuse.
You're right.
If we can find a reasonable soldier or an Imeon of this era, perhaps they will tell us what has happened here. Let's go. We don't have much time.
Retreat! Full. Fluttering wing. Full. Retreat!
Wait, isn't that the shoddy artifact that wouldn't even start? So is it working now?
Those who offer themselves to His Majesty will be rewarded 100-fold.
The main path is blocked.
In moments like this, it's time to show some innovation. Interesting fellow. Then let's be a bit more serious. Interesting.
There are still people over there.
I don't expect to find any living people we can reason with, but let's go check it out anyway.
Please lower your weapons. We mean no harm.
Who are you?
We are Emeons.
My name is Farhad. I can't see you well. I thought you were monsters too. Thank you so much. I didn't expect your help, especially after His Majesty gave that order.
His Majesty? Are you talking about Emperor Darius?
Of course. Were you not there when His Majesty gave the order? His Majesty ordered the Immortal Army to take over the Tower of Babel and the Library of Babel. How long ago was that? 1 year? Or 2 years? I can't remember clearly. This is not a library. It's an endless nightmare. Ever since I got here, I've been praying for the gods to wake me up from this living hell.
Take over? You barged into the library? No wonder. It's actually impressive that you've held on for so long without any preparation. Why did your Emperor send you here to die?
Our mission is to uncover the truth about the God of the Sun in Memphis. His Majesty has given the Emeon years, and yet there have been no results. Eventually, he ran out of patience. Personally, I don't have anything against you. We're puzzled too. It's hard to understand why His Majesty, who's always been a profound thinker, would act that way. Emeon, I know it may sound brazen, especially after we barged into your tower, but I'm asking you to take me back to His Majesty. The Immortal Army shall never fail His Majesty.
What a coincidence. We're actually searching for your Emperor as well. How about you join us? With you on our side, he might be more open to hearing us out, don't you think? So, what does your Emperor want to uncover about the God of the Sun?
Even though the Emperor's brilliance can rival the sun itself, he can't accept that all things eventually come to an end. Rumor has it that the god of the Sun of Memphis is immortal. Therefore, His Majesty wishes to unravel the secret to immortality, hoping to find methods that will grant him immortality. In this vast library, there must be a scroll or something that holds the key to harnessing the power of the God of the Sun. His Majesty's goal is to conquer distant stars, and we, the Immortal Army, must find that divine scroll. Those who betrayed His Majesty shall remain silent forever.
Hey, are you all right?
No. His mental state has irreversibly deteriorated.
I apologize, esteemed Emaeons. I wasn't myself.
Sit down and take a break. You don't have to put up a strong front here, because there's no Emperor who requires your worship.
I appreciate your kindness, but I don't deserve forgiveness. I made a solemn vow to His Majesty that I would never stop my journey until his realm reached the ends of the world. Yet here I am, empty-handed, a disgrace to His Majesty's glory. I feel ashamed to admit that I've known for a while that my time would come soon. But His Majesty once said he would share his dreams and glory with us. I want to return to His Majesty's throne before drawing my last breath. Please, don't let my journey end here. Thank you for your generosity. Although I can't see your face now, I'll always remember your kindness.
Well, I have nothing to say to a blind loyalist like him. Take good care of him. This place feels familiar. The
The device in the center should be able to take us down below. The correct switch is hidden under the tome that glorifies His Majesty. If you actually exist, why did you stay silent when His Majesty asked his questions? Shape. It's His Majesty's throne. Thank you for bringing me here. His Majesty is just ahead.
That's Farhad, a member of the scout squad. Maybe he's found something. Hurry! Bring him before His Majesty.
Ansu, end it all.
Why are you looking so exhausted, General Farhad? What happened to you? What did you do to him?
Behave yourselves. If it weren't for these Emeons, I would have died long ago on the nameless land. I'll inform His Majesty of your achievements, Emeon. Soon, you'll see that Farhad always keeps his promises. And His Majesty is a generous and benevolent ruler.
Let us assist you.
Stand back. No need. I've witnessed the distant and boundless lands with His Majesty when you were just babies. If I need help with even a few steps, how am I supposed to follow His Majesty to the ends of the stars? What is happening? Why can't I move on? I'm so ashamed to request that Your Majesty descend from your throne. Your Majesty, please!
You're in no position to tell me how to punish my soldiers, outsider. Those who have failed me are no different from deserters, and this is what happens to deserters. Pythagoras, are they your companions?
No, Your Majesty. Although their clothes resemble mine, I've never seen them before.
We're not Emeons from this world. We come from the future, 2,500 years from now.
A funny joke. Unfortunately, it comes at an inopportune moment. Those who dare to mock me must be punished.
Please, wait, Your Majesty! The wonders of the Library of Babel surpass the wildest imagination of mortals. Here, it is possible to encounter someone from a past or future era. For the sake of your lives, strangers, if you too are Emeons like me, show your proof.
This is a fragment from your crown.
Indeed it is. Where did you get this weathered fragment from?
From 2,500 years in the future. By then, it had become an antique.
Interesting. Let's assume what you said is true. Answer me this. Who rules over Obed 2,500 years from now?
I can't answer your question because Obed has no need for a ruler that far in the future.
I see. You can't provide me what I desire either. Lead the way forward, Pythagoras. As for these useless freeloaders, get rid of them, my soldiers.
Ari.
Your Majesty, please forgive our rudeness.
You know your manners, but your courtesy comes too late.
It's true that Obed won't need a ruler in the future. because by that time, Obed will be insignificant compared to your vast empire. We don't need anyone specifically to rule over it. The fragment you just saw is a gift you gave us yourself.
You mean you've seen me 2,500 years later? Do I still rule over my vast empire?
Yeah, of course.
How did I survive until then in the future? Tell me, now!
Gladly, but we want something in return.
Even those who call themselves the mouthpieces of the gods are nothing more than mere mortals after all. Your wish is granted. All the wealth in my treasury and all the provinces in my domain are yours for the taking.
We don't want wealth or fiefdoms. We just want to know what you know about the God of the Sun.
How interesting. That's the very same question I've been asking you, Emeons, for years. But why is an Emeon from the future asking me this question instead?
You seek the secrets of the God of the Sun because you're eager to know the secret to immortality, right? We discovered its mysteries once. However, over the long years since then, many details of our research have been lost. That's why we're coming back from the future, to get the missing pieces. You've been to Delphi during your expedition, and I believe you've heard the stories about Oedipus that go around there. In the loop made by time, the result and the cause will become one. You'll need to tell us everything you know about the God of the Sun, so that we'll be able to get you the full answer. That's the only way we can help you survive the next 2,500 years. In the distant future, you gifted us the token so that we could return here to figure out the truth about immortality.
Nothing but lies. Myths are for ignorant children. Do you think I'm as gullible as a child? I've found ludicrous loopholes in your words. Since the me in the future already knows the secret to immortality, why didn't that me ask you to tell me the secrets directly? Immortal Army! Those who deceive me will pay with their lives.
Of course, you can just kill us, Your Majesty. But at the moment we're killed, the casual loop in the timeline will be severed. If you don't learn the secret to immortality now, you, your empire, and all the feats you will achieve in the future will simply go up in smoke.
Are you threatening me, Emeon?
No. As a scholar, I'm simply telling you what might happen because of your actions. Whether to trust us or kill us on the spot, the choice is up to you. I'm sure you already have an answer in your mind.
Well, indeed. A nasty tone unique to Emeon. Lay down your weapons. For now. Listen well. I sent my people to collect many ancient documents and summon many scholars while I was in Memphis. But the destruction of the Ketaton was so complete that very little information survived. Despite my efforts, I only figured out one piece of information from the ancient records. The language of the gods is a palindrome.
The language of the gods is a palindrome? What does that mean?
Legend has it that Akhenaten deciphered the language of the gods and thus learned how to harness the sun. The language consists of a huge number of palindromic words, while they are written exactly the same forwards and backwards, they cause the God of the Sun to perform very different behaviors. That's all I know. I didn't have access to the vocabulary. As soon as I returned to Obed, I shared this discovery with your companions, the Amions of this era. But unfortunately, it didn't help them with the task I assigned them. Now it's your turn. Tell me, have you figured out the secret to immortality?
Are.
Huh? What are you talking about? The secret to immortality? It does not exist! What are you waiting for, Director? We've got the information. Now it's time to make a run for it.
How